All right, let's have a day. Let's get into it. So coming into today's session, you can see here during the pre-market, there's a little bit of divergence here with the SPY and the Qs. SPY here clearly swept the previous day highest liquidity. So what you would want to see if you're looking to trade this name is just a break and retest over the previous day high and then just continuation higher. Or if we fall back today, just to pull back long off this previous day low. You can see here, break, retest. So what's the pattern we've been noticing? As soon as we open, if we just shoot to the upside, that's 100% normal. It's expected because we already got that break and retest during the pre-market. Beautiful price action here on the Qs. You can clearly see it's already holding the previous day high as support, but you want to see, so if you're looking to take this a trade on the same, hopefully you can get a little pullback again off this previous day high, and then you can look to either scalp this or just hold this up into this pre-market high. It's a valid shot if you're looking to take this name. If we fail this, you would just look for the reclaim, or if we want to just have a pullback type of day, you would just wait for the pullback to this previous day low. So kind of same setup on SPY, but you can clearly see that the price action is way cleaner here on the Qs. AMD, really nothing for me up here, sitting in between previous day high, previous day low. So not a name that I'm going to be looking to trade. But like I said, if you're ever looking to trade a name like this, you're just waiting for a break and retest to either side. Like I said, we've already made all-time highs. So for me, getting into a long position up here, what I'm always saying, I'm late to the party. So nothing here for me. Nothing here for me. You can actually see that NVIDIA gapped up. This thing gapped up. So you would just be waiting for a pullback along off this previous day high. I'm hands off this name, but beautiful. This thing is it's pretty amazing to see this on NVIDIA. Just actually, let me zoom out here. It's just crazy to see, to be honest. We did this for almost, you know, 2 trading weeks, just sitting in this channel. And then within 3 days, we are up here at 203.15. That's crazy to see. So, um, no key levels here for me, but like I'm always teaching you, if you want to take these names, you just want to play the pullback on the dip. Since we've made new all-time highs, I'm just waiting for price action to, for price to develop over the course of a couple of days, just to, drop some more key levels. If we don't get this pullback way to 195. But other than that, nothing here for me on the video, so that's not the name that I will be trading. Tesla, beautiful. This will be on my close watch list. A lot of good confluences here. Previous day high, pre-market high, key daily resistance level, a lot of confluences there. So Tesla is on my close watch list. Palantir, nothing here. Now, the price action wasn't that good yesterday. If you were able to catch this later in the session, perfect. But, we saw this 188 holding up. This was the pullback long here. Perfect trade. Like I said, you want to be in down here when we get this next leg, once we get back up here at the top of this range. So clearly 188 being respected. Yesterday just wasn't a good day price action wise, and then this happened way later into the session around 11 a.m. But if we can get a pullback to this 188, it's valid. But this move kind of already happened. We'll see how market open goes. I'll actually mark an alert anyway. We'll see. I'll keep an eye out on it. You can clearly see, this 146.70 is being respected very well. We flirted with it all day yesterday. You can clearly see held beautifully as resistance. So this is being respected very well. If we can get a break and retest over this, I love the confluence key level, pre-market high, looking for upside. You can clearly see we're starting to just, we've been sitting sideways the last 2 days. Even here in the pre-market for each day, you see we really haven't done anything, even in the pre-market, but we are bullish bias on this name. So this, we get a break over this. This has clear shot towards all-time highs. So this is a name I will be watching, and Amazon, beautiful. This will be on my close watch list. You can kind of see we already got that break and retest during the pre-market on the dot. So what have I been saying? If we open up and just shoot to the upside, not surprised, you already got that retest. But this is something I will be watching. Beautiful break, retest. So if we can get a pullback entry on the same, I like it. Like I said, this is just my substitute for Apple. This is just my substitute for Apple. So as of right now, really my main watches is Tesla and Amazon. Right, you don't need to look at every ticker that opens. Just pick a handful that looks good during the pre-market and just add it to your close watch. Hood, we'll see. I'm going to set an alert because I know when Hood, trends and it runs, it's a really good name. So this is a name I will be looking at. You can see, like I said, the last 2 days really haven't been doing anything, just been sitting sideways. So we shall see what sets up on Hood. 3 minutes here until market opens. So you see Amazon's starting to hold up a little bit. Now I know how Amazon moves. Kind of like an Apple stock, I would say. I know if I enter this trade, it's not really a momentum type ticker. So I know this would kind of be a slow grind a little bit. I would hope not, but I would expect that. As we know, I do not trade the first 2 minute candle. So, if we just get a quick dip and rip, I'm gonna pass on that. But if we can pull back, maybe chop a little bit, and then I see, aggressive buyer step in, I really like this. But, we already really got that break and retest, and you can clearly see here during the pre-market, this 231.90 is acting as support here. So I do like that. Just gonna be very patient and see the price action at open. But if we just rock it up, obviously I'm hands off. Watching Hood, I'm not gonna force a trade on Hood. We shall see. It's been flirting with this 146.70. So we're bullish bias on this name. That's all we're looking for anyway. Today's a Fed day, so if we just have crappy price action all around, I would not be surprised. Tesla here, actually, pulling back. So as we know, 2 key levels I'm looking for is pull back long off this 450 or break and retest with this 466. You can see hood. This thing is respecting 146.70, perfect. So just really got to be patient there. Nothing for me on AMD, obviously. I don't trade off of previous day high and low levels. And then NVIDIA, a gap up. I'm gonna mark this out just to see if we can fill this gap today. We'll see. About 30 seconds here till market opens. 5 seconds. There's Amazon. I just need a candle closure above that. And for Amazon, a pullback long to this 229.30 is valid too. Very big candle here on HUD. Volatile open. Only candle that looks pretty normal here is Amazon. Yeah, HUD looks solid. Today might be the day. Just one too many candle has pretty much covered all of yesterday. We're already near the high day. So today might be the day on HUD. Like I said, these two names I'm watching, these are just, Apple's out of play, Google's out of play. So actually, I'm curious to see. I the money seems cool, but look at the volume. That's the only thing, bro. I mean, I'm doing a market order, so I'm not really too worried about getting filled. Open interest is there, but that is just terrible. hmm It's not worth the risk. No, I'm not taking it. Okay, so SPY is under the previous day low. I'm sorry, the previous day high. Looking to reclaim here, and then Q's is already gone. So there's actually divergence here on these tech names. A lot of divergence. Clearly divergence here on Amazon because Q's and SPY is pushing pretty strong right now. So it's not something I am going to force. As of right now, pretty much a chop here for for Tesla. But we just want this to cool off. Look at these. Look at how calm, cool, and collective Amazon candles are. And then look at these two. Look how big these candles and wicks are. Those are very volatile. You do not want to be in that. So hopefully Tesla can gravitate higher. I don't like this on Amazon. If buyers can step up, we reclaim that. I do like that. So we already got the break and retest. I've been breaking this down for you. So if we open up and it's just straight up, that's not really a shocker for us. It already retested. If Amazon wants to stay heavy, I'm kind of just hands off this because I don't like the divergence here. We are bullish bias, and this is a possible pullback long off this 229.30, but I'll have to see strong buyers step in. I prefer long off this 231, but we'll see. And since we never had a candle closure above this 231.9, I would still wait for the break and retest. I wouldn't just play the reclaim. We never got a candle closure above here, so buyers are never in control. Obviously, pre-market help, but we swept that previously high liquidity, so if we fall back under this, wouldn't really be surprised if it's just an inside bar day here on Amazon. You can see Q's is pretty heavy. I'm sorry, Tesla. Bullish bias on this name. Right, kind of sitting in the middle of no man's land. I'm more than happy with a pullback down here, though. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, nothing really on HUD. Sharpen. That is my mistake. So yeah, sellers are definitely in control right now on Tesla. You can clearly see pullback long type of day. Like I said, I want to enter at the bottom of that range, to be honest. That's perfect. Sorry, so a pullback long to this 228 is a valid shot. It's pretty interesting though, because a lot of these tech names are very bearish, clearly, and the Qs and the SPY is holding up. I'm more than okay with this on Tesla. I'm more than okay with that. Yesterday we moved almost $20, so if we just sit in between, this high and this low, I honestly wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see. So you can see the market's holding up. We're just getting a pullback here on these names. Buyer stepped up here. You kind of want to see SPY reclaim this previous day high and then just continue higher. Yeah, big gap and go here on the video. This thing's just moving. AMD fighting to get over the previous day high. You can clearly see the candle difference between Tesla and Amazon. So the thing about both Tesla and Amazon is they are both dead smack in the middle of the previous day high and the previous day low. Amazon looked a little promising during the pre-market. You can clearly see. So really just doing that until we approach a key level. Hood's having a crazy sell-off. Like I said, this thing still has gaps to fill. Hood does. So I'm really not surprised there. You can clearly see this is a key level, this 146.70. We have not gotten a daily candle closure above this for the last 3 days. That's something I'm noticing. Beautiful on Palantir. Unfortunately, we had, pretty bad price action yesterday, but this was the key level. I hope this is starting to make sense when I say you don't want to enter up here. When you understand market structure, pullback longs and all that, you'll understand that like these are the A+ setups. Entering down here and already being in a position as we get up here. So if you're able to catch this, at 11 a.m. or something yesterday, it was great. This 188, this was a breaker structure. This was a weekly level. This was a big deal. This is our next leg higher. Hopefully we can get out of this today because we clearly were forming a channel in here. So this is good that price is getting out today, and now Palantir just made all-time highs. It's a good name. Spreads are tight, volumes there, open interest is there. You can see here only a 10-cent spread, now 15, but one strike out of the money, 10 cents. It's a really good name. I've traded Palantir a handful of times. I like it. It respects its key levels very well. Like I said, I really wanted this yesterday. I definitely would have got stopped out. We pulled it back to 186.76. Definitely would have got stopped out. So I explained why I skipped this trade. Just unfortunately, Q's was trying to fill this gap and was pulling back. So it just wasn't worth the risk. Good pass, but still, this is really the trade that you wanted off this key level. So I'm happy to see that. Yeah, honestly, if Tesla just sits in this range, I really would not be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised. It's a Fed day. You can see this thing is moving higher, but after the move we had yesterday, I just would not be surprised. Not a single buyer on Amazon. Since open, we haven't had one green candle. It's a Fed day, so I'm not really expecting much, to be honest. I'm not expecting much. If Amazon pulls back to this 228.35, I mean, this thing is so heavy to the downside. I would have to, I would have to see what Q's is doing. There's no way I'm just going to long this. Like, I would need a couple more pops to the upside to see, okay, buyers are in control. I mean, good spreads here. Delta's 50, so I don't mind playing one strike out of the money. Like I said, it's a slow mover, and it's pretty much has the most volume. So we'll see if we'll get that anyway. For the fun of it, let's see what Apple's doing. Yes. We still need that. We'll see what earnings shapes up. 46 minutes. I'm sorry, not 46. It's 6:46 for me here. So since market open, just straight downside here. If we can get like a V-shaped recovery here on Tesla, that would be nice. Even if it did want to chop, I wouldn't be surprised. Typically, the SPY and the Qs do chop on a Fed day. And then I will try and have that educational video up, hopefully this weekend. Aiming for Sunday. Let's see. So here on Amazon, show you what I'm looking at. This is a valid long. This is a valid long up to 228.35 if we get that. We're bullish bias. We ended up breaking over this swing high. Not really looking to short this name unless we fall under this daily. I've already explained. This is sideways action on the daily. There's really nothing in here that's not going up or down. So we'll only look to short under this 222. But pull back long off this 228.35 is very valid. Very, very valid. So we do have orange folder news at 7 a.m. Yeah, pending home sales at 7. We'll see. How much Tesla here? It's kind of the main watch. Traded Amazon a handful of times this year, and I understand this is really like a slow grinder. So, hmm. You clearly see this level is being respected well on IWM. We are bullish bias. That was beautiful. Pull back long off this weekly. We fell that. We reclaimed that with momentum. We should know this by now. I used to trade IWM heavy back in the day. Heavy. Like more than the Qs and the SPYs, because you can trade 0 DTEs on this too. I used to trade this heavy. This is like the only thing I would really watch. That's when I was like in college, kind of didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know what I was doing. If that makes sense. But um, IWM was like my bread and butter. I used to swing trade that like every weekend. It's good times. And it's a cool stock to trade. It's zero DTEs too. It's just the personality on this thing is not. It's a little bit more complex than the SPY and the Qs. I think you're better off just trading SPY and the Qs to be honest. But it is a good name. Like it respects technical analysis well, but the personality of it is just oof. Amazon knew that I was watching it today, so it said, "No, I'm good, but I'm not looking to continue higher." This is valid. A break and retest or pullback on after 228.35 is valid. It is just doing its own thing. This thing is crazy. Like, look at the sell off and then the recovery. I'd have been looking really good. And this is hood. It's crazy. I think after today's session, we should have a key level here on the 4 hour. We should. But you can see it's really just been the past 3 days. Just sitting consolidated past 3 days, so really nothing going on right now. The thing had the shot towards all-time highs. A lot of built-up liquidity. I would not be surprised if the thing has a blow-off top. I would not be surprised. It's sitting at 146.64 right now. All-time highs is 153. This thing has a blow-off top. I would not be surprised. I would say it's just doing this because it's Fed day, but we saw the last 2 days, and yesterday was just terrible. So starting to curl here a little bit on Amazon. Okay, so Tesla broke the high day, clearly. Yeah, that's crazy right now. If we can get this, I'm expecting a big breakout. Just I would hope. No, the reason for that being is, we haven't swept this. This is still unmitigated. It'd be a little different if like we took this out pre-market, came back under, but we have not swept this previous day high. So it's something that's intriguing to me. But as of right now, prices in between pre-market high, pre-market low, previous day high, previous day low. So since those what I call right now no man's land. This market is crazy. Just look at this from the 23rd to the 29th. That's just unreal. That's unreal. It's wild. I've already said this. We're living in historic times. Um, I'm telling you, I said this when we had the sell off. Really, this market reminds me of the COVID days. Like humbly, I say, if you're, it's really easy to like swing trade right now. We see that every day. Like these names are trending. You can really just enter a long position, right before market close. If you just, and this thing would just continue to move higher. Like it just reminds me of the COVID days, just a straight bull market. And to see all these, these gap ups and these moves without really any news catalyst is wild. You got your break and retest of the previous day high here. See these wicks, it's just hard to trade that, at least for a zero, as I always say, but it's moving higher. There's no gap here today on the SPY. I was expecting a cash day today anyway, so we'll see. Honestly, if Amazon, pulls back to this 228.35, kind of just hands off there. It's clear divergence here. You got the Qs and the SPY making new all-time highs, and this thing's just pulling back. So I'm hands off on that. Like look at these 15 minutes. Like there's just no signs of any buyers trying to defend anything. Now maybe if we get like some strong buyers step up here at this 228. Obviously, if we fell into this, I'm hands off, but And it's a slow mover. I'm not really looking to sit in this on a Fed day. Fed speak at 11. Monday I was in that trade almost till 10 a.m. I think about 10 a.m. on the video, so I can't afford to do that today. There's just no signs of buyers here. We only have 3 up close candles on this name. It's clean price action. It's not choppy or anything. It's just divergence is not what I'm looking for right now, especially when the market is moving, Qs is moving. You got Nvidia. Look at Nvidia. It's wild. Yeah, there's no way anyone's able to take a trade on this today. Even if you trade the open and print, there's no way. Yeah, that's crazy. Even if buyers step up here, I'm hands off on here. This is what I'll wait for. I'll wait for this. I'd rather take my shot on Tesla than this. It's a falling knife. That's a trying. Tesla is trying. This is my main focus here. Let's see. See, like a strong buyer step up here, I don't care. I'd rather just take my shot on Tesla. This is a valid long. It is. It's market structure. You want to see strong buyers. But if I got to choose between the two, obviously I'm taking Tesla. And there's just too much divergence right here. I would need to see like a curl. If I can see like a curl, like something like a base around here, and then buyer step up, that is something I would like more. Actually, what's that IV? Oh, damn. Never mind. Look at the IV. Oh, yeah. I'm not touching that. Oh, yeah. I'm glad I saw that. Damn. Look at the IV here. 100. Tripping. I'm not touching that. Oh, no. Not want to get pressure on that. And it's already a slow mover. Oh, okay. Earnings. Okay. I'm tripping. That's why. That's why. Yeah, yesterday was really the only day to play this name. Monday and Tuesday. If you were able to take that, that was nice. So I'm gladly gonna do that. It's a no-go. Has earnings tomorrow. Yeah, after market close tomorrow. That's why you pay attention to the IV. That's my mistake. And then there was one. And then there was one. To make our job a little easier anyway. Yeah, maybe a cash day here. Maybe a cash day here. Where's gonna be paid? Tesla's really the only one. I'm gonna sit here till 8. It's 7:05 for me. There's really nothing going on all around. Like, see this? I don't like previous day high levels. It's just terrible. And you're trying late to the party. This is all-time highs. You're trading at all-time highs. There's nothing up there. Seeing the videos doing. Mm. Google has earnings today, so we'll see what today shapes up because we could possibly add this on our list tomorrow. Still has a gap. Yeah, we'll see what shapes up here on Google. maybe. Obviously not looking short this name, but I'm telling you, this market is so extended in the means of just gapping up. I would not be surprised. Like just on a random day, it may maybe this week it may not. We'll also see what Feds do. Like we'll see. We're technically we still are in this government shutdown, so we'll see what that does. But if we just have a day where we just melt to the downside, I would not be surprised. A lot of thin volume going on, a lot of gaps that needs to be filled. Kind of all around on AMD, on Nvidia. Obviously the overall market, but look at Qs. This is wild. 218 opened at 224. That's technically this is a little gap here, but I think we can pull back to this previous day high. We'll see. I think that yesterday, but then we just ended up trending. So clear to see break retest on the dot pre-market. So it's nice. And then I may have to stick around after fast. Typically I don't do that. But the only thing is that I said, if you watch the pre-market plan video coming into today, I just don't want to miss this key level because this is our last key level before all-time highs. That's the only thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just chop and then we get this break, towards the end of the session and then move higher. So I might like set an alert, an alarm, wait for that to pass, and then just see what shapes up. It could be being respected on the dot. Um, Yesterday was really the A plus pullback long. Reason for that being because we couldn't get a candle closure on the daily above 450. So what did we do yesterday? We got the daily candle to form above this level, pull back, that wick step up, and then move higher. So yesterday, this 450 was really the A plus long, at least for the dip buy and continuation. This is still a valid long before 650, but like I said, I want to be in that, prior to this break and retest. But this is really our last key level. That's really why I'm just eyeing this so heavy. 710 for me. So SPY is now under the previous day high. Let's see some of this previous day high. And then, the reason Fed is are typically choppy is, all the big money and everyone's just sitting on their hands waiting. For an example, let's just think of you and me. Would you want to be in a heavy position going long or going short and then be in that position, be in that trade when news comes out? Absolutely not. Like we said, news invalidates technical analysis. So that's why typically Feds are just a choppy day. Everyone's waiting to see, what's going to happen, reevaluate, and then reposition. Honestly, we've been following week so far. That's slow on that. This week's flying. I already had a cash day yesterday. Took a good trade on Monday, and then it seems like today will most likely be a cash day. Last FOMC day though was a cash day for me as well. I think it was. I think I took like a quick scalp on the video. I can't really remember, but I don't typically trade on these days. I used to actually treat them as like a day off. I would just not show up. But then, that was me making the assumption that today was going to be a choppy day or a bad day. And my job is to react, not predict. And I realized like doing that, I'm leaving opportunities on the table. So my job is to show up every day and see what sets up. I'm curious on what these cons look like. Not too bad. IV's spiked just a little bit. Well, actually, it's almost 10% above his average, so, but that's expected. I mean, everyone knows that this thing is just moving higher, so we're all looking for longs. Say about 10%. This is how you know the Q's contracts are spiked, because the Q's contracts normally cost $1 less. Normally $1 less than the SPY. That's something I've noticed over time. Let's see what other names are out there. I used to trade this name. You can see I haven't drawn anything up on this for a while. But for these names, make all-time highs. I mean, you can clearly see, right? Starting to catch this pattern. Consolidation, next leg higher. Consolidation, just waiting for that. This is normal. This is what we just saw in Palantir. So yeah, like something right here on this daily. Still 7, you can take a break and retest over that, targeting all-time highs. That's valid. Clearly resistance level. So we know this would just be our no trade zone. And you can clearly see on the daily anyway, this thing is just consolidating. So we would just avoid all this and just wait for either side. Because this price is sitting up here right now. This would be a breaker structure. That would be a breaker structure. I used to trade TSM a good amount. Clearly see consolidation, next leg lower. So I hope you're catching on to that. I used to trade this name pretty heavy as well. So SPY is now under, now it's back under the pre-market, I'm sorry, the previous day high. Best price action, which is expected. Something I was teaching you guys last week is, nice trendy day consolidation. We had 2 nice trendy days. Now, this is Monday. Um, Tuesday looked like it was going to be consolidation day. We got that last minute rally to the upside. And then right now, it's kind of compressed here. So Tesla really trying to hold up. I'll give it that. It's just the conditions right now. This thing's trying to hold up. Quick to the damage probably tells the story. Seller's sitting here at this 464.16. So it's definitely trying to hold up. Low day. Yeah, that's a key resistance here. Yeah, clearly a key resistance here on the intraday. And it's a perfect 15-minute candle. So, but things like this is that I like to turn into a lesson. And looking back on my trading, I used to kind of do that. And like for an example, right, you'll have someone who would try and trade the 15-minute RB, and you got to understand like those RB plays, those are scout plays, right? Those aren't really plays where it's like, okay, I'm looking for the best continuation because they're not off of key levels, they're off of intraday levels. So for an example, let's say you're a trader who doesn't mark out all your key levels, and you take a break and retest over the 15-minute, you're going long into a resistance level without even knowing. You get what I mean? And then even if this resistance level wasn't here, you're going long into a previous day high. So you can expect some sellers to step in there. Hope that makes sense. Even Q's here. Looks good. Trying to move high. I mean, it's not doing much. It's doing something like that. It's in sideways. And we're sitting between. Actually, we're sitting right above this opening print. I noticed this is why it's very important to retape, um, track everything. I noticed statistically that whenever, no matter how big um, or small that opening candle is, I noticed if price just sits in between the high and the low of the first 5 minute candle, it's pretty much just going to be a choppy day. That's something I learned. Yeah, clearly a lot of resistance here at this 464.16. Clearly. Let's see if Amazon held. Beautiful. Love to see your key levels get respect. I'm very happy I paid attention because that would have sucked. Like taking this trade, we got freaking earnings. This is like trusting your key level. Falling knife, bar step up. What do I teach every day that we always see when we fail a key level and reclaim it? What does that do? Fuels that move higher. And remember, you don't have to play the reclaim in the push to the upside. Even if you wait here, you still got a break here, then a retest. It's very valid. And then someone for me, like how I trade, market structure have to be my stop loss. So I would have to let my stop kind of be under this. So even though that seems pretty big, I would just have to size accordingly. This is beautiful. Pull back long. This is right off the game plan. This is exactly what you want to see. But no way you're going to take this trade. Look at the IV. It's over 100. Look at the normal IV here. These contracts wouldn't pay you anything. But stuff like this gives me confidence, conviction. It's just one of those weeks. We got a lot of earnings this week. This is beautiful. This is about 228, 229. Yeah, you're almost at a dollar move. That's textbook. That's exactly what you want to see. And then, like I just said, prior to this move happening, since we're falling straight down, something I would like to see is like this little base above this, and then buyers take over. So two entry setups here. Really the squeeze. I just call it the squeeze. And then you just wait for a candle closure and wait for some momentum to kick in because your stop loss is going to be the exact same anyway. Or once we reclaim, just wait for the base because this is part of the retest. Remember that this is part of the retest. If you know how to read the market, that's part of the retest. That doesn't scare me. I've already said these are my favorite setups anyway. Or you wait for this to reclaim base a little bit and then see buyer step up, then you can go long. So unfortunately, right, you can't take this on the day before earnings or the IV's over 100. That's beautiful though. You love to see that. Crazy because if I didn't pay attention to that, I definitely would have took that trade. Definitely would have took that trade. That's on me. So thankfully, I have this habit of just looking at the IV. Because look at the normal IV here on Amazon. It's never really that high. So 110 is crazy. That caught my attention quick, but beautiful. Pull back long, key level. The breaker structure, like this is the dip. Unfortunately, we have earnings. This is the A plus long. This is the breaker structure key level here that I've been preaching about. That's the breaker structure level. This is buying the dip. This is how you get in these A plus trades, right? You let this play out. Your stop loss is down here. You're green. You're not in any drawdown. Let this just gravitate from key level to key level. Embrace the risk. Don't look at your P&L. Scale out a little bit once you get here, and then just let everything else run. This thing is intact to the upside. We are now bullish bias on this name. Look at this 15-minute candle. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. That's exactly what you want to see. As soon as the market opened, we saw how clean the price action was on Amazon compared to Hood and Tesla. Like I said, it's a slow mover, but the price action is good. In respects, you can clearly see. It respects technical analysis on the dot. Look at these wicks. I finished this perfectly. That is beautiful. This is just a squeeze. That's a liquidity grab. That's a fake out. It's a squeeze before the move actually happens. Right? Understand the market structure. That's beautiful. This is the A plus trade. You sit in there, turn the other cheek, and just let it play out. Almost 7:30 here for me. Yeah, slow week. I would say out of every single month, October has really been the biggest. I don't know what to say. Just you got to display, your patience. That's really what October's been. First 2 weeks was slow. That was like the peak government um, shutdown. I think we did have Fed speak this week as well. I mean, this month as well. Give me a sec. Did we? Trying to see. Give me one sec. No, so we had. I can't remember if he actually spoke or not, but we did have on the ninth, Jerome Powell speak, but I don't know if that got canceled due to the news. I can't really remember, but it's been a very patient month here, very patient month. And then we had that sell off, so we had to just be patient. The overall market. You go back and watch, those pre-market videos. The overall market was stuck in a channel really up until this week. So yeah, October was really just a patient month. We got a couple of breakouts, didn't get a retest. You got an A+ trade setting up here on Amazon. You can't take that because we got earnings the following day. So just all across the board. Yesterday, never got the pullback to my key level. The day before yesterday on Tesla, we got the breakout, never got the retest. So the patience has been tested this month, 100%. 100%. On Monday, we got the pullback on NVIDIA to our key level, but never got an entry point. So just, yeah, patience have been tested 100%. But this is really the A+ trade here on Amazon. Yeah. Looks super solid. Like this is the power of your, key levels. And like I said, this gives me, I did my job correctly. The work is put in when the market is closed and on the weekends. When the market opens, we just want to trade. That's when it should be easy. We just sit, we let our trades come to us, and we take our trades off the key levels. But the hours are put in, analyzing, proper key level placement, stuff like that. This gives me confidence. This shows me, okay, I did my job correctly. You can see here, respected on the dot. Yesterday, respected on the dot. After hours, and then today. That's exactly what you want to see. Like I said, it takes a while to get to this point. It really does, because when you're starting, once you ignore like all the other minor levels and you only start focusing on key levels, you gotta trust your level, because it's hard to take this when you see like, okay, it's a falling knife and you want me to go long down here. But yeah, when you understand market structure and how price moves and works, these are the high probability setups. This is called trusting your system, trusting your edge, and trusting your level. Like I said, it's a very slow mover, and then obviously it's the day before earnings, but it's exactly what you want to see. Like I said, the personality here on this name is crazy. But this is a pullback long off a weekly level. On a zero, that's more than over 100%, especially with momentum on your side. As of right now, the spine queue is kind of just sitting sideways. Like I said, really not much going to go on until Feds. Yeah, nothing really going on. Yeah, it's 7:40 for me. I might just call it here. It's really nothing going on for me anyway. The only name I would really be watching, after the Feds is really just Tesla. It's really nothing going on for me. You can see AMD's out of play. It's just consolidating over this previous day high. It's nothing going on, but like I said, we've already made all-time highs up here, so that's expected. If we start seeing consolidation before the next leg higher or lower, that's normal. And then NVIDIA, it's really nothing going on. We got a big gap here. Big gap here. Body of the candle closed at 201, opened at 207. Now we're sitting at 212.19, so just a big gap there. We won't really be looking at Apple until Friday, obviously. So Apple really hasn't done much either since Monday. Like I said, we still need this retest off of 264.05. Will we get it? Not sure eventually, but I want to see. I mean, we've already turned the top of this channel into support, but we still need that retest. So we'll wait and see, what happens there. It's pretty much it, really, regarding the tech names that I trade. AMD's out of play, Apple's out of play, NVIDIA's out of play. Those are the three, out of my main, five? I only trade, Tesla, Apple, AMD, and NVIDIA. Those are really my main four. So 3 out of the 4 out of the picture. Apple's out of the picture due to earnings. NVIDIA's out of the picture, just gapped up, not sitting around any key levels, and then AMD's sitting at all-time highs, not sitting around any key levels. So that just leaves Tesla. And like I said, the reason Tesla's the main watch here is this is the only one that hasn't hit all-time highs. Everything else has, even Palantir, right? Everything else has hit all-time highs. So Tesla's the only one. It's definitely going to catch up, 100%. It's definitely going to catch up. Let's see what Palantir did today. Like, look at Palantir. Look at that. Like I said, the patience has been tested this week. If you watch yesterday's live trading session, we were watching this to look for a long down here. But just what the cues were doing, we could not take that long. And I'm going in very heavy. Like that's for sure. I'm getting stopped out on that for sure. So, and then I'm not even trading, around this time as well. So, but this 188, this is a breaker structure. And this is a weekly level. This is a weekly level. This was a big level, and we held this for 2 days. Had a little peak, a little fell under yesterday. Quickly reclaimed that, got back over. Um, and this is what's happening today. This is what I mean when I say these are the A plus trades. I know that. Unfortunately, just yeah, patience have been tested this week for sure. You've always heard me say in my videos, whenever I get a break and retest over a weekly level, I'm automatically looking for that to be a potential swing trade. Or you're taking a break and retest off a weekly level. That's a big deal. A weekly resistance level, that is a very big deal. So yeah, patience has been tested. It's only 5 trading days in a week. So far this week, 2 cash days yesterday, today. It's kind of expected. As of now, I say I have, I think, 6 total cash days on the month. So just, patience. Last week we had 2 really good weeks. I'm sorry, last week we had 3 solid days. So had a base hit on the 20th. On the 21st and 22nd, both of those days, made a little bit over 2,000, and then a solid trade on Apple, and that was a 0 DT on the 24th Friday. Had a banger on Monday with NVIDIA, and then yeah, it's just been slow. So patience has been tested. And what I want you to notice is, when we sit in these consolidation channels like we just did on, Tesla, or when NVIDIA was in a channel, those we can't be surprised when we get those big breakouts because there's just a lot of built up liquidity, and then we just get a blow off top. So I knew this was gonna happen on Palantir, and we all watched this together for 2 days. For 2 days, Palantir was on our close watch list. We were just waiting for a proper injury. Never really got one, so there's nothing I could do about that. Yeah, 740. Let me call it here. Slow day. Glad to see Palantir's out of this channel, and it's just being patient. I mean, look how many look how many days this thing just consolidated. Consolidation, next leg higher, consolidation. Now we're seeing our next leg higher. This is crazy to see. It's wild. And this was a big blow off top today because yesterday and Monday, you can see price pretty much closed around the same. I would say roughly, yeah, 189. I rounded to 190. And then today, we pushed all the way up to 197, almost 200. It's crazy. But not a surprise here. Yeah, you can clearly see. It's our weekly level, 188. We turned that into support. Beautiful. Exactly what you want to see. So, yeah, might be it for me. All right. Hope you're able to learn a thing or two. Slow day, kind of expected. Cash day. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, have a slow day. I will say tomorrow though, I'll break this down anyway in the pre-market video going into tomorrow's session. I mean, beautiful to see buyer step up here and clearly see just straight down as soon as we hit our key level. Beautiful bounce. So I'm sorry, not tomorrow, Friday as well. So a lot of things going to be in a close watch list for Friday. We'll have Amazon earnings have passed, um, Apple as well. Yeah, we do have. I think Apple earnings. Yeah, Apple's earnings is tomorrow after market close, and then I think Google's today. Yeah, Google's today. So hopefully we get some things back in the rotation. Like I've already broke down, out of the 4 tech names that I really only trade, AMD, NVIDIA, and Apple. It's kind of all out of the mix this week. So it's really just all eyes on Tesla. And then I can't trade the overall market because we've just been gapping up. We're so extended. There's no more key levels for me to take a trade off of. So just been really patient, really, really patient, patient pace. You will get paid for your patience. I promise you that. Trading is a long-term game. I'm never thinking about tomorrow, the next day. I'm thinking about, my next 100 trades. I'm thinking about the next quarter, the end of this quarter, the next year. Like, how do my decisions today affect me 3 weeks from now, a month from now? So you gotta have that mindset because trust me, it hits you once you review your trades and you're like, damn, this could have been avoided, or only if I was patient, or only if I didn't chase this. Right? So just always have a long-term mindset because that's what trading is. It's a long-term game. All right, I think I'm gonna call it here. Hope you were to learn a thing or two. If you took a trade today, hope you had a really good day. Hope you had a green day. And we're just gonna be patient, let our trades come to us, and just let market do its thing, let price do its thing, pull back to some key levels, a lot of earnings this week. And as we know, Tesla still, that's what we're looking for in Tesla. This is our main watch. As long as we are under 466.50, we still got a shot to catch this thing. Still got a shot. We'll see what today does. Who knows? We could pull back to, this 450, which ideally I would want. This is still valid. Let's go on the hourly. This would just be, the top of this channel turning into support. That's all that would be. So Either way, we're just looking for a long off of 450 and 466. So yeah, call it here. Hope you had a good day. Hope you learned something. I will catch you all tomorrow.